Sadiq, and I want to say thank you guys for tuning in today on this very hot Sunday.
It's going to be hotter next time.
No, 111 degrees we're looking at for all of next week. And like, what can we do with 111 degree weather? Absolutely nothing. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And so, as always, the purpose of this show is to promote Black love, understanding, and knowledge of things that go on in the Black community to make us a better people. And so I can't see who's on here, so whoever you are, hello, I'm going to give you guys just a couple more seconds before I dive into the topic at hand, because I got a little bit of information I think is worth listening to. And so, I guess I'll go ahead and get started. Why not, right?
Why not?
All right, so today we're going to talk about the new Justice for Lynching Victims Act of 2018. That is the name of the new law that has been proposed by, well, I'll go ahead and get into my notes, shall we? It says recently 3 Black senators introduced a bill to make lynching a federal hate crime called Justice for Lynching Victims Act of 2018. Those senators are Kamala Harris, Democrat of California, Cory Booker, Democrat of New Jersey, and Tim Scott, a Republican of South Carolina. Now, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is also in support of an anti-lynching law being passed along with 16 other senators, including Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders, who is an independent, which, as I said, it brings it to about 16 so far. Now, the vote needs 60 voice votes of senators, in order for the bill to pass. Now, the inspiration behind the bill comes from the increase in hate crimes and racist demonstrations that have taken place since Donald Trump has become president. So this is what, they're saying their reasoning is, right? Okay, now, this type of bill is nothing new, though. Politicians have been trying to get an anti-lynching bill passed for over 100 years, up until 1986. In fact, roughly 200 bills were introduced to Congress during that time span. Now, the law that the 3 senators are trying to get passed now would make lynching punishable by a maximum sentence of life in prison. In essence, it would be an additional charge to, let's say, murder or assault. I mean, to me it's an oxymoron because lynching is murder. So, but I guess they're saying that's going to be added on. Okay, now back in 1918, a white Republican representative by the name of Leonidas Dyer introduced Bill H.R. 11279 that was aimed at making lynching and mob violence a punishable act to Congress. So he introduced the bill that bill back in 1918. However, 3 years in a row, in the early 1920s, the bill was filibustered and halted by Senate Democrats. Dyer was outraged by the lynchings and mob violence that plagued his predominantly Black district. He wanted the bill to specifically address the murders because the horrific crimes were going unpunished. Let the record reflect that nearly 99%, and I'll say that again, 99% of perpetrators of lynching went unpunished. So that was damn near everybody who lynched somebody never got punished. Even if they were, put on trial, of course we know the jury of their peers let them go. Okay, now most Southern Democrat senators opposed anti-lynching laws because they felt that Blacks were responsible for most of the crimes, more babies born out of wedlock, more welfare, and recipients of social programs, and that strong measures were needed in order to keep Black people in control. So they didn't really have a problem with lynching. It was, control for us, if you will. All right, now, in 1930, other attempts to outlaw the practice of lynching was taken to Congress, but it fell due to opposition from a large voting bloc of Democrats. So, what is lynching? And I'm giving you guys, just the background so we'll exactly know, what this bill is about, or we'll try to figure out what it's about. Okay, so what is lynching? Lynching is a premeditated, extrajudicial killing by a group. It is most often used to characterize informal public execution by a mob in order to punish an alleged transgressor rather, or to intimidate a group. Lynching was and is an intimidated tactic. And notice I said is because lynching is not a thing of the past, and we'll get into that. Okay, so lynching was and is an intimidation tactic used by Southern whites to subjugate black people. Specifically, my tongue tied today, the KKK. It was also used by the Democratic Party to maintain social order as a form of voter suppression of black people from 1880 through the 1930s. Now, the anti-lynching movement was a civil rights movement in the United States that was spearheaded by Ida B. Wells, aimed to eradicate the practice of lynching. And I'm almost done here. Now, as we know, there have been almost 4,000 documented lynchings of black people that took place during the Jim Crow era. But the number is much higher because it does not include the undocumented lynching of black people. It should also be known that about 1,300 or so white people or other races were lynched as well. Now, a formal apology was rendered by 78 senators in a resolution in 2005, and they said, well, there should be some sort of anti-lynching law somewhere, but they just gave us their apology, right? Now, it should also be noted that in 2018, black people are still being lynched. Just this last May, 3 white men were arrested for the lynching and dismemberment of 2 black men, Ramon Smith and Jerron Moreland, along with Kevin Garcia Butler and John Shane Baker. Now, these are the murderers. Kevin's 16-year-old brother was charged with shooting these black men. Now, this is a 16-year-old who was also charged, okay? Now, and their mother, Crystal, is also being charged with accessory after the fact. So much for that apology that was rendered back in 2005, right? Now, here are my questions, and maybe you guys can help me with questions, and we can just kind of come to some sort of understanding. My first question is this. Well, first, what are you guys' thoughts on the new anti-lynching bill that's proposed by these 3 black senators? Second, will the bill finally pass? Because we need 60 votes by the Senate in order to pass, I guess. And is there, now this is my real question, is there a hidden agenda behind the senator's bill? Now, I'm thinking maybe they thought, okay, well, we're taking a lot of backlash from being so supportive of the immigration situation. So vocal, and a lot of people have been outraged, like, yo, you guys are very outspoken about the, separation of family, and people should be, but you've said very little about the things that go on in the black community. So is this more or less like, okay, well, let's do something for them now? And are the Democrats starting to see the light? That's kind of a joke. And is the bill really going to stop lynching? All right, so let me get to you guys' comments. Let's see, who do we have?
Well,
hey, Alex, go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say something about the lynching. I don't think there's a big epidemic of people being swung from trees in the United States as a whole. I know there's some that's going on, but it's not an epidemic versus police brutality going on, and
which some people would say is qualified as lynching. You're right. So, okay. And hey, Cindy, say, what's up, fam? And Cindy say, what's the difference between this and the hate crime? Well, I guess they're trying to say they're trying to qualify it as a hate crime. So, in addition to the murder,
I like you as
in addition to the murders, we're going to add on the mandatory sentence of life. But I thought that the premeditated murder was already murder 1, right? Capital murder, capital punishment. Yeah, so like, okay. Do we need to make that a law?
Well, if you think about it, though, it's just like when President Bush put out the federal law enforcement police officers are not to discriminate on interstate highways. How many federal police officers are on the interstate that you see?
Right.
it's a
We're just
facade.
making up
Yeah,
stuff,
it's
right.
a facade, and we go, yes, yay!
Right.
Oh, it's
Hey,
crazy.
Artemis, and for those of you guys who can't see Donovan, you will be able to see him once he produces the YouTube video where you see, it won't be a green screen, it'll actually be whatever he puts behind there. So sometimes I never know until I see the video. You know what I don't have on is my thing.
Yeah, and I always post it after the fact to where I can't get your comment.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. Hey Artemis, what's happening? He says, hello, thank you for sharing. Oh, absolutely. And James says, what the F is going on with that? Who is lynching people and where? As much polarization of the racist acts, rhetoric, etc. Our own introduced this, but nothing about the damn police in there. Same thing said, about the damn police in their own form and more effective form of lynching. Yeah, I mean, people have made the argument, well, what's going on with the police brutality in black people is lynching. It's the same thing, and I agree. And
you also got to think about this. The Democratic Party is trying to set up these black so-called leaders, especially Kamala Harris, is supposed to be the future. They're telling you that.
She's a new Obama.
Yeah, this is the person. So she doesn't have anything in her resume, so they're throwing her on this to like she's out in the forefront. Like, oh look, it's almost the Obama syndrome.
See, what's jacking them up is exactly. Kamala and the Corys and all these other people might have benefited from us being more asleep 8 years ago, 12 years ago, but now we're starting to wake up, and you got a lot of people out there saying, don't trust these new
nuances. Yeah, these new Negroes. These new Negroes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And James says, Ida B. Wells is the most important black freedom fighter. We do not study and teach. No, absolutely. I think it is important that we do study people like Ida B. Wells. She actually brought the international attention to the lynchings in the South. And once the word got overseas that this was going on with black people in the South, more people started to say, wait a second, what's going on here? So through her writing and her relentless pursuit of getting the facts out there, it became more known. But before that, it was just kind of kept there. And, you know, even nationally, at the White House and all that, they were like, they didn't really know they were kept in the dark. And so, yeah, you got to give it your hats off to Ida B. Wells. And it simply says needs 51 votes. Wow, that's what happened to this. So I guess there's a difference between people saying, yeah, you know, I'll support it, than actually, you know,
a
vote.
Yeah, and whoever controls the Senate, they set the super majority limit or whatever it is. So if it's something that they really don't want you to vote, they'll put 60. You know what I mean? They make it as hard as possible.
But my thing is, why wouldn't you want a law? I mean, I'm just saying, to me, this is going to sound really probably stupid to a lot of people. It doesn't make me a difference if we pass that law or not, because I just thought murder was murder, and I mean, I don't think that's going to stop people. Like, I think lynching somebody is a firm decision, and I don't think you're going to say, well, I might get life in addition to the death penalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got people doing 3 life terms. I mean,
you know, one more ain't going to hurt me, right? Let's string them up. And Al says, are there any advantages of being black in America? Oh, there's plenty of advantages of being black in America. We got 1.3 trillion advantages of being black in America if we organize and practice group economics and self-love and all that other stuff, but if the advantages aren't going to come from anybody else but us.
Well, another advantage is if you're the only black kid in your class and they're dividing up playground playing basketball, you're the first pick because they assume.
That's about it.
Yeah, they assume that you're a good basketball player.
And then you get your tall yourself out there.
You ever see that movie Soul Man with
I have.
Thomas Howell, whatever his name is, and they thought he was they kept calling him Jamal.
Right.
He couldn't play basketball to save his life.
Was that your story?
That was my story. That was my story.
And Artemis, she says, we need more black politicians like Adam Clayton Powell. He spoke truth to power unapologetically. None of it is going like this. Truth to power unapologetically. These leaders today, you never hear from them today. Well, you hear from the leaders of today only when there's an opportunity. Like I call Kamala Harris Miss Photogenic because
Miss Opportunity.
Miss Opportunity. She's out there when there's a major something to her advantage, something major popping off. She's got these fiery speeches and you know all this other stuff going on in his life, but she's still missing an action.
Right, but a black person gets shot, not a statement, not a word, nothing.
Right. Hey Nancy, he says What are they going to pork the bill with? When bills are passed, they attach other hidden bills. No, absolutely. I'm sure. Well,
I think Trump wants another $25 billion for his law.
oh, is that what it is? I mean, I don't know what they're gonna put with it, but I just wonder if there's another motive. You know, okay, us Negroes get together.
Okay, here's the motive. Okay, if you guys have been paying attention, I'm the political guru here. The midterms are coming up, and the Democrats don't really have anything to run on because, again, the focus is being put on the Supreme Court pick that has just now come down, and that's going to be a fight. See, why is it that we wait until something happens, then we want to do something about it?
Right.
You should have. This would not have been a question if the Democratic Party had let Bernie Sanders or let the people pick
you ain't gonna let that go,
who they want. I mean, we wouldn't be in this situation. Now women's rights are being attacked, and now they're trying to pad these leaders up that we don't want and saying, oh, here's your leader. You know, you got to go with this.
You got to pick one or the other.
Go with this or nothing.
Right.
I mean, come on. I mean, they're even saying right now is Nancy Pelosi a secret Republican. You know that?
I mean, it makes sense to me. And then Sydney said, great point, Nancy. You also said there was a lynching of a black man in Texas. When was this? Because today, as I was kind of doing this research, I heard of one. I'm sure it was more recently than that, but one that was, I think it was 2002, right there in Houston. Black guy.
Yeah, they tied him to the truck.
No, not him.
Oh, okay.
That was his last name was
Bird.
Yeah. But this particular guy was just at work at some company in Houston, and he said the white guys and stuff would be making fun of him, calling him nigger and all this kind of stuff, talking about we're gonna string you up. One day he walked into the bathroom and some dudes attacked him, put a rope around his neck, and tried to lynch him. This was 2002.
Yeah.
In Houston, he's like at work, and they tried to lynch him in the bathroom.
Here's the thing. We're over here in California, but I mean, I'm from the South. I mean, instances of lynching down in the South, that isn't nothing new. It's pretty, I hate to say it, common down there. And common meaning, not that it happens every week,
usual,
but it's possibility could happen.
Right.
So it's very sad. It's very sad.
And then Sydney says the Democrats changed the rules when Obama was president. It used to be 60 votes, and he refused to take advantage of the rule for the Supreme Court. Now the Republican Party used this ruling, so it backfired.
Yeah, exactly. But McConnell can lower the threshold if he wants to, but he chooses not to.
Well, he says that he would support the bill if it goes to Congress or whatever. He's behind it. In fact, he was like, well, I thought there was already an anti-lynching bill. That's what he said, and there's not one already. I mean, and I know that we demonize Mitch McConnell. I mean,
he's a demon.
I mean, he's a demon.
He's a demon.
But I thought like he did it. Isn't there already a rule, a law? I mean, I thought that lynching was kind of against the law. But
it's almost like saying, isn't there already a 14th Amendment? We can't put people in slaves in chains, but we can put you in economic slavery.
Oh yeah,
we
put you in prison.
Yeah, we put you in prison, debtor's prison, which we're not supposed to have, but we have. You see, the city of Ferguson, that was shown in a lot of these southern countries and back east. We're not supposed to have debtor prisons in the United States, but we do.
Right, and then that says go Google.
That's me.
Oh, that's you, okay.
Yeah, I'm a political guru.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
And he wears many hats around here. And he says, Bernie was not going to win. Stop it.
Bernie was going to win the Democratic.
Let it go.
Yeah, Bernie was going to win the Democratic primary. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And I can prove it. If he wasn't going to win, why did the Democrats need to rig it? Why did they need to rig it?
I mean,
case closed. Case closed. I
just always want to know, why did he stay independent?
Well, because to get the financing, the members, we need more parties in the United States.
Okay, but if he was going to win anyway, he could have stayed independent and still got the financial backing.
True. But the thing is, though, they didn't want to split the vote. That would have also.
Who was they?
The Democratic Party and the Republican Party working together.
Independent, he don't work with none of them.
Right, but you still have to
was Bernie in cahoots?
Could be. That's why when he won the nomination, he went along with it because they told him some certain things.
I think Bernie was.
We need more parties in the United States. We do not live in a democracy.
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, I was like Mitch McConnell. I don't see any more comments, so I address him as I see him. I thought that was already in law, and so to me, because I saw it, somebody posted it on Facebook, and as I was reading the news for the morning, I saw it trending in the news that these senators were coming up with this bill. And I thought, and I try not to be cynical and skeptical all the time. I'm really trying to change that about myself, to try to see.
Good luck.
I try. I'm trying to see the good in everything, but I was like, there's got to be a motive. There's got to be a motive behind it.
It's a distraction to make it. That's
exactly.
All it is. That's
it's
all
a distraction.
Because think about it. We've been dealing with now they're talking about the Supreme Court pick and all this other stuff going on. Nobody is focusing and talking about Russia.
Well, this is another thing. And I'll read you guys' comments because I see them popping up. This is another thing. What people fail to realize, and I think we specifically fail to realize as black people, we are the deciding factor when it comes to elections.
Well, we used to be.
Well, we still are to some degree.
We're barely holding on.
Barely, but we still are. We still have the power
because
to swing
our
it
young
one way or the other.
people are taking themselves out of the
Right, but I'm saying that to say that Kamala and all of them know that, okay, while I'm fighting for immigration rights, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be, I am neglecting my people, and damn.
But why do we have
to need those black people?
But why do we have to throw it in your face for you to realize that?
Well, because largely black people have been the walking dead, and we just allow, especially then, we just figure it's because you got a D by your name, you're a Democrat, automatically should vote for you. I don't know what your policies are.
If your name's Baca or Rodriguez, you just vote for that person.
I mean, what percentage of our black people are Democrats? Like 90 or something like that,
like
roughly.
86%.
Yeah, so I mean that's a lot. That's almost all of us. And then Sidney says, okay, no, I read that one. He say, I believe in 2014, man was married to a white woman, cheated on his wife with the sheriff. Are you talking about the Texas thing? Cheated on his wife with the sheriff's wife. Damn. Found him with his balls in his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
But they claim the drug addict killed him. Okay.
Yeah, I partly remember that.
Yeah, well, we know what really happened to him. I mean, that is all signs of a lynching.
Yeah.
And then, Charles, what's happening? He says, Ola, do you have a link to the language of the bill? No, I don't have the link yet. I don't even know.
Did they finish writing it? I don't even think they
finished
finished writing it.
Yeah, I think it's something they came up with Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. So I just think it's something they kind of just put out there for now. But I haven't seen any language to it. But that would be very interesting to see exactly what it entails, because I'm sure it's some doozies, right?
Yeah, and it probably puts black people, we repeal 13th Amendment.
Really? Just repeal 13th Amendment?
We're the Walking Dead, we wouldn't even know.
We'll give you, make lynching illegal?
Yeah. We wouldn't even know.
And then Secret Guard, what's happening? You say Bernie was better than the witch.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, no, I definitely agree. I was, Team Bernie, but then when he got out of the running, it was like,
but again, you didn't want to split the vote because that would have. If the Democrats, here's the whole thing. If the Democrats hadn't rigged the election and let the Democratic primary run, Bernie Sanders would be president right now because anybody outside of Hillary could have beaten Trump. It's been proven in
you say it all the time, though, that it was always going to be Hillary.
Yeah, because they had already preordained her. When you got 532 super delegates before you even have an opponent, the fix is already in.
Right, yeah, that kind of makes you raise an eyebrow.
Now they're telling you Kamala Harris. Oh, this is the future. She's a woman and she's black. Oh, look. Well, what kind of legislative accomplishment does this woman have? Zero.
Donovan, she's the next Obama.
And that might not be a good thing to say because for 6 years they obstructed Obama. Isn't it funny how McConnell, the president, they're obstructionists. I can't believe how they're doing this and they're going to do all that. He did that for 6 years. Now the Democrats are going to try to do it, and it's a bad thing. It's
a
crazy.
Game.
It's crazy.
And Al, you say, do you all remember the scene in Mississippi Burning when the FBI tried to launch the racist guys?
Yeah.
Tried to launch the racist guys just to show them what it's like. I know. In your spell check, you meant to say lynch.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, the guy shit his pants.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like when you think of lynching, and we talked about this before, a lot of people think it's just a hanging.
No.
Well, not that just the hanging is, all right. We think it's just a hanging, but that is a lot of heinous things that go on. I mean, like somebody, Cindy said, they get castrated and cut off their fingers and sell them as souvenir, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's
women get raped and it's sad.
Like you have to be a beyond sick individual and then go home at night and eat your dinner and talk about it.
That's another argument why they say women shouldn't be in combat because believe it or not, women are very brutal when it comes to survival type
Yeah.
tactics, and especially in the Israeli wars,
Right.
they found, because in Israel everybody serves in the military, and they found in some of those wars the women that were like getting assaulted and stuff, the Israeli women were mutilating their opponents. And I'm talking about like broomsticks and all kinds of stuff, cutting balls off and just doing stuff. And and maybe they were doing it out of retaliation that the Palestinians did that to maybe some of their comrades. But women are very brutal when it comes to stuff like
Right. And Nancy, you reiterate pork. And then Artemis said the black vote has been taken for granted. Yeah, we just keep going along with the nonsense, And then Sydney says Claude Anderson speaks about both parties. Yes, he does. All the time he says we need
more parties.
Well, that, and we need to form our own party, collectively decide what it is that's good for black people and stick with that. Stop giving our vote to people who have never done anything for black people, but take us for granted. And then Nancy said Hillary should have been VP for Bernie. I think, or I think she's saying that.
Switched it. And that's what they should have done. They should have said, okay, this ain't working. Obviously, everybody hates Hillary, so she does have a lot of experience and stuff. But let's make her the vice president and come together to defeat this Republican juggernaut that's going to be coming this.
And then Sydney said, "Stop it! Wall Street was not voting for him."
well, Wall Street wasn't voting for Obama. What they were telling him what to do.
Right. Artemis, she said it would be great if the black church would promote group economics like the Rhino Nation group.
Oh no, brother, no. Absolutely not. The pastor wants all the money.
All the gators.
Yeah, he ain't doing that.
I agree with you. The black church should do that. Some would argue, though, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit, that the black church does talk about group economics in that it tries to teach you about prosperity. They have these prosperity ministries. This is, how you get rich, and this is what you need to do, and all this other stuff.
Wait, I got a clip that's just going to talk just about that right now. And there's my clip.
Okay, so you guys will see that once the video is produced for you guys on Facebook. And then, I agree. I think, but to your point is like, why? Why should I teach you guys group economics? You guys, my guys might get smart and realize you don't need the church to the capacity that you think.
Exactly.
Exactly. Might wise up on us.
Right. Like I said, I've been talking about building that parking lot for 30 years.
You better stop.
I'm sorry.
You better quit. Allison, a co-worker, told me that he was a victim of lynching and tried to hang himself. Asked him how it was, and he said it has its ups and downs. You know what? What we not going to stop laughing. What we not going to do is make fun of lynching. That is, I like, for real. That's not nothing to laugh about. I mean, you pose yourself.
Yeah, that was a good one. It was good. For some of my redneck friends, I could use it at the next time.
Yeah, you do that.
What's
that Clayton?
Biggles
or whatever his name is. Yeah. And we never want to do that. And then Sydney said, stop telling reckless about Creflo. Or talking, he meant to say talking. He ain't talking about Creflo. Somebody else out here.
Right here on Riverside. With a major star on Pastors
of LA. Yeah. He's trying to get in trouble now. Yeah. But no, we've seen that a lot of pastors who are rebuilding the church. Rebuilding the parking lot. You know, and
there's another church that he just sold out for $1.3 million.
Really?
Like, and he looks terrible right now.
Really? Why?
He's got some kind of system.
Do tell. Did we talk about the one that's by my house?
The Life Church. No, the one on Van Buren.
Oh, that's his brother.
No. This is Life Church.
Life Church is by my house.
No. What's that one up there?
Vine Life.
Vine Life.
Oh, okay.
She wants all the dirt. But
I don't understand why you trying to gossip.
Here's a little thing. Here's a fact about Vine Life for those that don't know.
You're right, Cindy. That ain't cool, Al.
Just real quick. Vine Life, the pastor that formed Vine Life, he was asked to leave the military because he was a military pastor, chaplain. And what he was doing was he was taking the offering that is supposed to go to the nonprofit organizations because he's being paid by the government. You're a military person. And he was keeping that for himself, and he was given an ultimatum. And I know people are going to say, oh, you're blasphemy in the sky.
I didn't take blasphemy, man.
I'm not blasphemy, or I'm not
gossiping.
I'm not gossiping on
this. This is facts.
These are facts
You
because
put it on the Bible, stack of Bibles?
I don't need to because I was a corroborating witness
What?
to these facts. And that is exactly why, and those of us out of the military, you don't do 13 years in the military and say, you know what, God has called me and I'm going to go build a church.
Oh, is that what he said? Okay.
If you look at his...
Look at Donovan with the scoop.
Yes, and God don't like ugly, and remember, this guy used to ride around giving out $100 bills and his little Rolls Royce and
He
stuff.
never gave me one.
I know, never gave me one. But the word is he sold it for $1.3 million to Harvest.
Oh, boy. Harvest got enough to see. We acting like we ain't even on here. We talking about local church business, right. Y'all. So. Wow. Okay. Well, Cindy says, since I am broke, I might become a minister. I need a G5.
That is a thing that they say if you want to make money.
Let me ask you a couple questions, Cindy, and this is going to qualify you. Do you got a few pimp bones in your body?
That's it.
Do you have the gift the gab?
Do you have a Steve Harvey suit in your closet?
You got at least one Steve Harvey suit in your closet, okay? Can you recognize quality fried chicken from non-quality? I mean, those are all the things that you need to be able to do in order to be a good pastor.
And I want you to look at this clip.
That's not all you need to do. Yeah. I don't want to.
Yeah, but I want you to look at this clip, and this will give you an idea of what a good pastor is. Take a look. And we're back.
Okay.
That was that clip of Reverend Lennox Thomas from Which Way Is Up?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Sit your ass down and put the glove on your ass.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I know a lot of pastors out here. That is the rumor that they have come from a pimping background. I mean,
if they weren't pimps, they were drug dealers.
Yeah, some hustlers or whatever. And I guess to a degree, you kind of need that. Now, I'm not saying about all pastors, because I was under a great pastor who, to my knowledge, never did any of that kind of stuff. So, but for the most part, now these new age.
You have to be a talker.
Yeah, you got to be able to. You got to have a gift of gab. And then aside, she's laughing at the Steve Harvey suit. Yeah, you gotta have one of those. And then you gotta have the shoes to match. Mm-hmm. That's starting out. That's basic.
Basic.
Then you work your way up to the $3,000 gators. I remember one time at the church, this dude came in, and he's some pastor from this other big time church, and he came to visit our church. And he sat up there and bragged for like 20 minutes about every article of clothing he had on. Mm-hmm. He said, this tie right here alone cost $300. And this suit I got on, well, I don't want to talk about that, but it costs a lot of money. And I was like...
And you're talking to everyday working people.
Right. We got holes in the bottom of our shoes, and you talking about your $3,000 gators. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I needed to reach a little deeper.
Right, but then, we was sitting up in there, probably gave a fat love offering for him showing up.
Exactly. And he had the nerve to say, I like the kind that folds, not the kind that rolls. Right? He don't want no change. If it ain't folding, he don't want it.
That needs to be my motto. I'm tired of taking these chickens and eggs from like a bartering system. And so he says, laugh out loud, it's a hustle, pimping from the pulpit.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta have a skill though. It is a skill.
He said he got gators.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you're on your way, brother.
You're on your way. That's a start now. That's a start. But anyway, so as far as the lynching thing, it's not enough to make me get excited. I mean, I just feel like in all these years they tried to pass an anti-lynching bill. It makes me wonder why you wouldn't want to pass it, but I mean...
Well, it's the same reason why they won't repeal what's that act that doesn't recognize a black man's rights?
Oh, you're talking about the Dred Scott decision?
The Dred Scott decision.
Well,
they won't repeal it?
And it's funny because I had this argument with somebody who thinks he knows everything. Hey, not you.
Okay, sorry.
Not you.
All right, sorry. The other guy.
Yeah, he was telling me the Dred Scott decision wasn't overturned. I mean, it was overturned. I said the decision was never overturned.
Yeah, it was.
But he says, oh, it was overturned by the 14th Amendment. I said, no, it wasn't. The 14th Amendment just said, now we're citizens, but they never actually overturned.
Took it off the book.
Yeah, I said, we were wrong. We're going to, reverse it, strike that, and all that other stuff. So to your point, I mean, it said in that case, no black man should ever have rights that a white man should respect. So we're still there. I mean, we're still in 2018. We're trying to figure out if lynching should have special circumstances. In 2018, we still talk about people being lynched.
Sad.
Like, You could take yourself outside, let's say, in the South. Now, there were some lynchings in the North, but not as much. But you could, let's say, you're taking the trash out. And somebody decides to string your black ass up and lynch you in 2018. That's crazy. And yet we're all fighting for everybody else's rights.
Yeah, there was a lynching a couple years ago where they said that the person hung themselves.
Yeah, that's what they've been saying a lot. Yeah.
Even though the evidence shows you, the way the guy was tied up, it's like,
what are we gonna do? We ain't gonna do nothing.
Same thing we always do.
Right. And then Cindy says, might ask Drake's dad for Steve Harvey, so you better leave Drake's dad alone. You see you against the Wendy Williams, he's a gangster. Well, you may not do that to a man, but to a woman. Yeah. Hey, Joseph, he says, when I post, I get reported, sis. Well, I don't, yeah, you welcome. Knock on wood, I got reported. I don't understand that. Like, if you don't like what I'm posting, unless it's something just really off the chain, keep on going. If it don't apply, let it fly. Just keep going. You gonna report me?
But Joseph, isn't it funny? Like, they'll report you for like saying something that might be conscious or something to make people think, but you can see ass and tits and booty shaking on your page and
kids twerking.
Yeah, and nothing gets
Nobody
said.
will say nothing about it. And then Cindy says, so I just pulled up the law. It is understood to be under the hate crime statute.
Okay, statute.
Again, isn't that a given?
Right.
Isn't lynching done in a hateful manner? That's like a hateful thing to do. Like, I'm going to put a rope around your neck. And I probably called you 50 types of niggers before I did it.
Right,
I mean, to me, that's a hate crime, but I guess we need to be specific, right? And then Al says, wasn't there some crummy rap group called the Lynch Mob produced?
That's Ice Cube's group. Yo-Yo was a member of it, KD.
We're going to have to censor Al since he can't come to the party, the adult table. We're going to have to mute his comments. And then Cindy says, there has been 2 lynchings in Georgia this year. I mean, it is like, so, again, this is, we're not 1918 people. We were talking about 2018. Where anybody, I mean, the 2 guys that I talked about earlier in the show, these were young guys. I think they were abducted from some store or something. And these dudes, shot them, dismembered their bodies, the whole 9, buried them in a bottom of a river. They were missing for like weeks. Their families looking for them, and then they ended up finding their bodies. And the 16-year-old was the one that pulled the trigger. And his mama was, aiding and abetting all of that. She was co-signing all that. So we're not talking about, like in our mind when we hear about lynching, we think about these,
Klansmen.
These southern dudes with just, hate. But we talk about women and kids in 2018, like it was back then. The kids sitting up there watching, Daddy, who we lynching today?
Get the picnic basket out. We're going to a lynch.
Oh, Jethro looked at a white woman, so we're going to string them up. And they're like happy. And so, Cindy says, well, I was reported for your live last week. Really?
Wow. See, I told you.
Why?
Yeah, I'm watching you.
See,
I'm already on the team. I'll get the check. So they know you ain't get the check.
I mean, like you report the truth. We're not on here, saying, because I see some live feeds and I'm like, whoa, for sure you're getting reported.
Right.
And you might even have somebody knock at your door. I've seen those live feeds before, but I purposely try to set a format to where we don't do that, because I know, especially with some of the topics that we talk about, that it does get kind of heated and people will say things they may regret, so I try to steer away from that. We go to the inbox for that. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Why are you reporting that? You mad? What was I even talking about? Oh, the immigration thing. Oh, and speaking of which, you guys will be surprised, or maybe you won't be, how many people inbox me wanting to know why I felt the way I did.
Yeah, how dare you, black woman, not take up another culture suffering.
Seriously, I won't say they were mad, but they were like, what is it that you have against immigrants? I said, did I say I had anything against, I've never said one time that I had anything against immigrants. What I did say is I'm for my people first, just like Mexicans are for their people first, Asians, white people, that's what
human nature.
You're supposed to be. You ain't seen no cats out there for alligators
for dogs, right?
Yeah, they're just the first law of nature, self-preservation, and I'm like baffled as to why people have a heart, not white people, but why people have a hard time with that concept.
Did you get a lot of feedback from black folks?
It was some black folks, but it was a lot of not a lot, but a few of my Hispanic friends.
Yeah.
They, I said, well, maybe, because they said, well, one of them said, I know that you talk about black people a lot. I was like, yeah, because I'm black.
Mm-hmm. Right. This weekend we had a lot of protests for the immigration thing here in Riverside.
Right.
Why weren't you there?
Why wasn't I there? First of all, I didn't even know about it. And if I did, what does that got to do with me?
Oh, so you don't care about the little kids?
And ain't that I don't care. I want somebody to answer me. What does that got to do with me?
Everything. Aren't you a human being?
I'm a human. No.
La familia.
It's my family. I mean, like I said, I got my good friend. I consider her like a best friend. She's going through that stuff too. But
your sister-in-law is a
Latina. I mean, I got the Rainbow Coalition going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not unsympathetic to that. I don't think nobody should be separated. But I don't think we should, go put out somebody else's burning building while our building is burning. Because our building is damn near burnt to the ground. Because we're off doing everybody else's
thing. The only thing
that
that's our saving grace as a people is that we have a steel structure, and steel buildings do not collapse.
Let's hope.
They don't.
9/11.
Steel buildings do not collapse. Okay? But, again, like I said last week, why are we worried about other people when we got to worry about ourselves? This makes sense?
We're just used to doing it. And the city says, we forgot that we live in sundown towns. Yeah, I mean, especially back there in the South. I've actually been through a town or two in the South where it's like, yeah, you don't want to be here after dark. I was like, you ain't got to worry about that.
Pascagoula, Mississippi. You definitely want to go
I
to
would
there.
be out of here way before sundown.
We used to have briefings back in the day. I don't know if they still do it in the military at Keesler Air Force Base. If you're going to your next duty station and you're going on the 10 West, they would tell you you need to leave at a certain time and do not stop in that town after a certain night. That's where a big Klan area was. So.
Nancy, you said, did you post Deborah, a woman of color? She went after Farrakhan for being anti-Semite, Maxine Waters, Obama. Let's talk about her. I don't know who that is. Deborah.
Deborah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
She went after Farrakhan. Well, I mean, I guess if you consider Farrakhan to be anti-Semitic, then yeah, but I don't consider him to be that. I consider, Farrakhan to be very honest, and he's backed up everything that he said with facts. Well, if you follow Farrakhan even to the smallest degree, that man ain't just getting up there just spewing like a lot of people do. He backs up his arguments with facts, which is what we should all do. We should never just be, especially if we have some sort of a platform, we should never just be spewing stuff without facts. But no, and Maxine Waters, we'll talk about Maxine Waters. I'm going to read these comments and we'll talk about her. Because I think you want to talk about her putting a sort of a loose bounty on the heads of the Trump administration. And hey, Robert, because anytime we talk about uplifting each other, other people get offended. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like everybody else can do it. They can talk about their race and their this and their that. And that's why I have a huge problem with people, especially us celebrating like in St. Patrick's Day.
Cinco de Mayo,
where a lot of us, not me, but a lot of people on Wednesday are going to be red, white, and blue out. A lot of black people, and you got to say, why? Why are you participating in this holiday that has nothing to do? You know what, Donovan over here, I almost called you the C word.
Yeah.
You're going to be out there with red, white, and blue. You're going to paint the lawn and American flag.
They actually invited me to go on the Veterans Float Parade.
Really?
Yeah, I said, no, I declined.
Because I was going to snipe your ass up all day.
I said, no, I don't think so.
On my head.
Right, I don't think so.
Yeah, but but I think it's because we're so busy out there celebrating everybody else's stuff, and they're used to us doing that. And so when we pull away and say, you know what, today I want to be about me. Why? Why you want to go and do something like that? And there'll be a lot of black people saying that too.
It's like the gay parades and stuff. I have some friends that are gay. They say, well, why don't you come? You never come out, and I never will. Okay?
Right.
I just don't support that.
Right. And then you say Deborah with Fox. I think you talked about Harris Faulkner. I think you she's the only black news.
Oh yeah, the one with the big eyebrows.
Yeah,
and
she was saying something about that.
That woman is horrible.
She feels responsible or having allegiance to white people or something like that because she has mixed kids or something. If that's what you're talking about.
Yep.
And Al says,
our queen.
let me read his joke for him. Not reading that. And Cindy says, believe it or not, they still exist. No, I mean, absolutely. And then we always ask the question, too, like their great-grandfathers, I guess, at this point, would they have taught their kids that? And the grandkids? And
fundamentally, you're gonna...
That behavior does not go away. Like, I couldn't imagine being raised up by people who thought it was cool to lynch people and not be affected by that to some degree or even rationalize, well, they're just niggers.
Yeah, you know,
we just go ahead and lynch them.
Yeah, and the funny thing, if you go to the South, sometimes you'll be at the Walmart or the Winn-Dixie, and you'll see this old Confederate lady with her mixed great-great-grandbaby.
Right.
Wait. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. You know, she still has her racist tendencies, but it's just funny how she has to deal with the fact that
Susan Becky.
she made a mistake.
But love the grandkids.
Love the grandkids.
And Cindy says, just remember, more than half of zip codes have less than 1% of us. We better unite. And it's really funny that you mentioned that, because remember the other day when I texted you that statistic I texted you, I was actually researching the statistics of black people in the area we live in, and you, Cindy, you have hit the nail on the head. Black people, I'm thinking, like I'm seeing it right in front of my face, we don't even exist out here anymore. It's very little of us, and to the point where Asians are like neck and neck with us. Now, Asians used to be
3%,
but they have caught up to us, and Hispanics have almost tripled
it seems like
the
every
amount of black
Hispanic teenager I've run across has 4 children.
Well, that's the goal. They're like, we're not under that false idea of the eugenics program like you guys are. We go kill our babies, Planned Parenthood for me. We're having all our kids, and that's how they were able to take it back, or starting to, which is what this whole separation of the families is about. People need to educate themselves. It's not just because you're over here illegally. It's that way because we know that there's power in numbers, and you guys are getting dangerously close to outnumbering white people, so we need to get all y'all up out of here. That's what that's about. And then so, let's see. Cindy says the problem is the Republican Party used that statement about us not supporting the legal immigrants. I was subjected to a Breitbart video. That's a very white right-wing publication, right? That was by Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon, yeah, exactly.
And then Alex says, will you and Donovan clarify it for your audience when they are going to the 4th of July family cookout? It's properly pronounced barbecue, not barbecue. Well, I mean, if there's somewhat of way, I don't know if they, I get it. A lot of people are like, you know what, we're just going to the barbecue or whatever because it's a family get together. So I get that.
Right.
But at least go knowing that you weren't free. There's that 4th of July has nothing to do with you at all. Hell, we still ain't free in 2018. We're here, we are, on a Sunday afternoon in 2018 discussing lynching. Lynching is still a problem, so how free can you really be?
Exactly.
And you're out there popping fire. What are you popping fireworks for? We weren't free till almost 100 years later.
And we're still not free.
Yeah, so it's just like, and then what's baffling to me is a lot of people, especially us, we're like, really? You're kidding me. Are you serious? Right. Well, my aunt makes a mean potato salad, and I'm going to be there. I'm just trying to see if you knew, sister. I'm not trying to change your mind.
But haven't I said for a long time, okay, with us having the highest unemployment rate, we are the first people to celebrate Labor Day.
Labor Day is cool, but
we are. It's sad. I have relatives that are in and out of jail. They're on the system. They're gaming the system like that. They celebrate every holiday that's imaginable.
Well, Neely Fuller Jr., as I said before, he talked about that. He says, why are you as black people celebrating? He said, we are the most celebrating people there is
everywhere
on the planet. not to say that we should be mean-mugging all the time, but he's like, we really ain't moved the needle like that. You know, to be out there getting down. We're like, we got a lot of work to do, and we out here just at life of the party.
Exactly.
You know, good time Charlie, as the old people would say, where it's like, you know, tomorrow, after 4th of July, you're going to hear about somebody getting lynched.
Yeah, yeah, and that bill is still due.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. You done went out and spent $200 on barbecue, but your light's about to get cut off. And then Al, he said, I joined the Mexican Optometrist Club, C. You just ain't gonna fit on me. And Cindy says the whole separation is about Texas becoming majority Hispanic in 5 years. Oh, hey, it's very
California
close.
too.
No, California already is.
Yeah, so.
So that's what this is about, and people, and this is why, as a black person, it baffles me because we think, oh gosh, you know, to separate the families is horrible, and it is. I'm going to reiterate that again. It is horrible that they're separating the families. But when you hear that Hispanics have, you know, overtaken black people, not that we're in a competition, it doesn't say it. Dr. Claude Anderson talks about this too. He says they're not coming over here to help you. They're coming over here to overtake you. They're not going to worry about your issues. And on my YouTube channel, I guess he was Hispanic, he wanted to go back and forth with me saying that we need them, and you know, they've done more for us than we've done for them, and you know, we need to band together. And I said, let's keep it real. You're not interested in banding together with us. Because honestly, we don't have anything you guys need. Man, that sounds kind of mean, but it's true. We don't have, as black people, we don't have anything. Well, we have money, of course, but, you know, if it ain't broke, why fix it? We willing to give them the money, so there's really no need for us to help them, per se. You know what I mean? So, but we need to realize this is a numbers game. The less and less, because we are disappearing, whether it's by, you know, death, intermarriage, and that's another thing I saw too on the charts. Mixed.
I'm sorry, not intermarriage, intermingling.
Right, mix is now a category, and that's starting to grow. But we're disappearing, you guys. Yeah. We are. That's a fact. I looked at it, and that's what I did all day Friday when I had some downtime. I was just studying these numbers, and everything that kept coming to my mind is black people are disappearing. And we're so distracted. We don't understand. We are literally disappearing. And so
and you can see it right here in the news.
Yeah. Everywhere I go, me and my daughter, and I sit back and I say, look around. I say so all the time. What do you see?
If we go to a restaurant,
what do you see?
Sometimes when me and you go, we're the only black folks in there. It's just us.
Right. So pay attention. And let's see. And hey, Sam, it says Labor Day was sought by the union to give those that Labor Day off. At least that is what my teacher union said. The American Federation of Teachers, AFT.
Yes, that's true. It was part of the union. They advocated for that. You can advocate for anything.
But if you have a job, that's
right.
If you have a job.
Yeah, it's supposed to be for those that work on a constant basis. You know.
The barbecue's gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean, I've got relatives, and I'm just speaking from my personal experience. I've got relatives that have never held a legitimate job.
But they'd be the first ones
They'd
to
be
show
the
up.
first ones with the rack of ribs and everything. Come on, y'all, let's, you know, got the gun in the back of the booty crack and all that other stuff. So.
I ain't reading that one either, Al. Cindy says another thing is white people birth rates are dropping throughout the world. Yes, and they realize that. I mean, you know, depending on what you believe, you know, they say white people and their fertility issues, they have more than a lot of other people.
Yeah, other things, and then you got to remember, the white woman is in rebellion against the white man. So,
I ain't having your babies.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. You know, the now movement, all these the free the woman thing.
And the whole, you know, Planned Parenthood thing that was specifically targeted to black women through the eugenics program. Right. Get rid of your babies. Behind the scenes, you know, they're saying these people are a burden on society. Their kids, you know, they all have low IQ. They have a lot of black people in the upper classes, you would call them. They were also championing that. Get rid of your babies. Ben
Carson, right now. What's the craziness that's coming out of his mouth?
And this has been going on, and so we as black people, we just bought into it. Oh, girl, I'm not having this baby. I don't need this baby. I'm just gonna go and get rid of it.
I wasn't aware of the genocide that is going on with our black women. Since we're doing the show, it brought it to my attention, and I looked at the numbers. It is horrific. We need to stop telling our daughters that if you have a baby, your life is ruined. We need to stop saying that. Everybody's entitled to a mistake. And
I agree with that. I mean, you deal with it. I mean, regardless of what your stance on abortion is, we deal with it because the fact of the matter is we are disappearing. Abortion plays a large part of that. Incarceration, just a lot of health, especially, y'all. One thing we really just need to sit and chop it up about health, myself included. Mm-hmm. You know, I got a lot. Being a vegan doesn't always mean I'm healthy. Mm-hmm. I'm healthier than I've been, but you know.
Well, some of my studies of the abortion thing within the black community, they're saying a lot of these girls, again, it doesn't make sense why they're getting pregnant, but if you're getting pregnant by the same type of guy. In this one scenario that I had read about where the girl was, she was making her testimony. She was saying, well, I kept dating the thug on the street, then he'd go to jail, whatever, then I get with this other thug, and I end up pregnant my hand down, I want his baby, and I abort that baby. And, she's making the same type of situation even worse. And it's like, well, how many abortions? I think this woman ended up having like 4 to 6.
Well, I mean, and the government will give them to you. I know women who've had a plethora of abortions, too, to be honest with you. It's like it become like a form of birth control.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Let me go on to the clinic.
Yeah.
It's
very sad.
But you raise an interesting point because there are women who are lying down with no good men. Mm-hmm. But on the other side, that makes me want to say, why don't we stop raising no good men?
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Because to me, it goes hand in hand. We just need to do
Like
better.
I said, if these women would stop buying into the government, give me free money and I'll keep the father out of the home.
Well, that's a learned behavior too.
Exactly.
I mean, the mamas are probably doing it, the grandmamas.
Right.
This is learned behavior that's been passed down.
Exactly. We need to stop it.
And you're right. We need to break the cycle. And let's see, what did I miss here? Now, it says, forgive me, baby, for my jokes. I had amnesia once, maybe twice, or 3 times. That's something you said. Sidney said, stop it, Donovan. I'm sure it was something crazy. He says, I really don't believe the abortion rates. Okay, so maybe the abortion rate statistics that you gave. I don't remember.
Well, like I said, I'm reading different statistics, but all in all, it's
black
high.
women. We have a very high abortion rate. That's not a secret. I don't know what the exact number is, but it's very high, and it's really prevalent among black women. And
here's something you can do. Seriously, and I did this because the book suggests me I do that. Just ask one of your black friends. Ask a couple of them if they ever had an abortion.
Girl, got an abortion.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, when I was 19. No.
You stupid.
No, seriously. And I asked some of my friends, and they were like, back, stuff happens, but
I mean, it's not just a black woman thing, but we do it a lot. And so James says, look at the commercial. They're massaging this BS. Massaging, that's what you said. This BS. Every opportunity they have, white man, black woman, even mixed kids, sometimes cars, insurance, farmer, etc. Mm-hmm. We are getting hit from every angle. And the young men who are in season don't vote. What a binge. Want a binge change like this 1988 better wake up. No, absolutely.
You're right.
We are seeing that. But I think we're starting to see that because that's just where America is going. Everybody is being mixed, and I share this with you guys all the time. My mom, she had a total, she's passed now, so I say had, total of 11 grandchildren in one great. All of them, with the exception of my daughter, were mixed. Are mixed, rather. They're mixed, so I just think that's just what
my father-in-law has said, and when I see him, he says it all the time. He goes, I don't know what I went wrong.
Stop it.
He says it all the time. Where did I go wrong with these boys?
Ow. He says, isn't it ironic that the people that are for abortion are still living? Funny, but that's true. It's like
George Soros.
What imagine if somebody would have did that to you? Farrakhan talks about that a lot. He says actually his mom, I think she had, if I'm not mistaken, maybe at least one failed attempt to abort him because, like you said, somebody, got in her ear about, you're making a mistake.
Yeah, you're ruining your life.
And he says, the cat is drinking my Kool-Aid.
Okay.
He says, thank God that she didn't go along with that because I wouldn't be here. And imagine all the people I would have been able to reach with what I'm trying to do if she hadn't been successful.
Well, Tim Tebow, that's one of his platforms. His mom was given that scenario too, where he was going to be aborted, and something came to her. She said she wasn't good.
And that's just, I still love your family, even though I'm a light-skinned Mexican. I never let any one of my the African American sons be called the N-word. And my 3 boys may not be mine, but I gave them life. No, absolutely. And Nancy was very, very good friends. One of my mom's best friends.
All right, right on.
She is part of the family.
Yes, absolutely.
And Cindy says the white feminist tells the black woman to cut your man while they sleep and reproduce with their man. Right, exactly. And that's what a lot of I think black women don't understand is, the white woman talking all that mess about her man, but when she put her picket sign down, she going home to that man, okay?
Exactly.
Baby, what you having for dinner? What can I make you? You want your house shoes?
Or it's funny how these white women in public, they'll say, oh, we don't need no men, we're feminists, but they're all married.
Right.
But they're telling you, you don't need no man, and this is true, this is a statistic. 76% of black women have never been married. Young women have never been married in our country.
Well, some older ones too.
Well, yeah, but they're saying as a population-wise, 76% of black women.
Well, what's taking y'all so long to propose?
Y'all ain't acting right.
Wow. See?
We don't need that attitude.
Oh, God. And the city says, NYC did a study and found out that white women went to private doctors to have abortions, and that is not required to be reported. Okay.
Right, that's true too.
So, so you're saying that's why the numbers are off in regards to black women having the most abortions because
here's
that
my
information
thing.
is considered
Yeah.
private.
Yeah, well, here's my
That
thing.
makes sense. Private doctors, Planned Parenthood, public.
Of course, and on a whole, white people have dental insurance, and they can do that. But regardless of what the numbers are, the number in our community is still high. I don't care what the white woman's number is. I don't care what the Asian woman's number is. I don't care what the Hispanic number is. I care about our number, and it's still high in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, so I will not reading that one either. But not reading that one either. I don't understand, like, what's going on. That's why I have to pre-read Al's.
Yes, please do. In local news, the black man community was vindicated. We were vindicated in local news. Go ahead. I want to make her laugh real quick. Go ahead.
I'll just say this to allude to what Donovan said. I won't tell you what the situation was.
Right, go ahead.
But I had a rather terrible experience with an older black woman.
Which goes to my point of these women with the and she looked like a poor man's Tina Turner. Didn't she? That was a raggedy thing on top of her head. That woman should have been ashamed of herself. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
It was an awful experience. And so bad that I had to report her to her company. It was awful. But I had bad experiences with white women too.
So in essence, you are now conceding
that
there are some black women out there that have horrible attitudes.
I never said that there wasn't. There's white women, Asian women. I've had issues with the whole rainbow.
But it seems like these women have a chip on their shoulder all the time.
Most women do.
No. I remember I told you, in the morning, first thing you do when you wake up, look at these young black women. Their fists are already balled when they're walking by.
That's because y'all Negroes keep pissing us off. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
And we were vindicated.
Cindy says, I do not trust any statistic by them.
Yeah, okay.
Well, no, I agree with that, but can we at least concede to the point that abortion among black women is high?
Yeah.
And you said, I needed information about this. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a secret that it's high. I know, like I said, I know a few women that have a piece. Yeah,
of the women that I've polled in my friend circle, I would say 50% of them have had an abortion. That's still high.
And that's very high, and so I think that's the conversation we need to have too. I mean, if we are talking about, because we are, listen, it's not a secret, black people are disappearing.
Yeah,
we are everywhere. It's not just here where we live. It's everywhere. We are, what, 13% of the population, give or take. And they said, I think by the year 2026 or something, we'll be at 17%.
Yeah.
We'll be at 17% by the year 2026, like a whole 4%.
I did look up these numbers. In the 1950s and 60s, our population was 13%.
Yeah, we really have not.
We have not grown.
Right.
Now, during the Vietnam War, black people made up 23% of the fighting force.
Why? You tell me that. You're a military man. Why?
Poor niggas sitting there ain't doing nothing. Send them over there. I mean, they were being drafted too. So, but look at
my daddy.
But look at the people that evaded the draft that are president of the United States, senators,
right,
congressmen,
right. Well, they're the ones that send you to war.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and then Cindy also say we need to have a discussion about choosing a mate.
Well,
how much time we got?
We got 30 minutes.
Okay, we got 30 minutes, so we can do that.
She gotta have a big booty, a couple of booty, a tramp stamp. Injected lips. I want to look like Black China.
You've already failed, brother. You might as well just stay single.
No. Like I
That's
said.
what's wrong with you, brothers. Y'all out there looking for the superficial and the artificial.
I don't.
And then you want her to be a real woman.
No. And the thing about her is, and I was just as an example, what these niggas, what they're telling us that what black men look for. That woman looks horrible.
But is it a lie though? Is it completely a lie?
I think it's a lie. I
just know there's a lot of men out there.
That woman looks horrible.
I mean, she does.
She looks horrible.
But there's a lot of men out there who only want a woman to have a big booty. I mean, and then they can deal with everything else.
There are women out there. Now, I want you guys to go to this page. It's Afro Thunder Lock. And look at this page.
That's my sister.
And look at this woman. Big booty, big breasts, this beautiful face. She's educated. I mean, the total package. And she's all mine. All mine. So it can happen, brothers. It can happen.
And then you also say, and we need men to step up.
Yeah.
You know what?
True. Farrakhan was Honorable Elijah Muhammad that said, more than likely, and I'm paraphrasing, a no good woman was probably made that by a no good man. And vice versa.
I mean, so the men, you need to, take control. Take back control of your woman.
Yes.
That's what you need to do.
I want you.
Not that, slap him in the mouth stuff. Okay? You can't be doing all of that.
Well, with Afro Thunder, I don't think I'd have much of a chance with that technique.
Okay, and then I'm not reading that one either, Al. And then Sydney says, stop talking about 45 though. You might end up in Gitmo, Donovan.
Oh no, I've been there before. They don't want me in there.
You know that place.
Yeah, 5150.
They'll be the same.
Yeah, they let me out.
And then Sydney also says, Amanda might smack you, Donovan. That's
yes.
what he won't.
Yes.
That's what he won't.
Yes.
But no, so really back to choosing a mate. Me and Donovan talk about this a lot on our other show. It's just really about asking questions. Asking questions. And Donovan talks about a lot too, and Al talks about it too, as far as, from a man's point of view, how does that woman relate to her father? Does she speak well of her father? Is her father influential in her life, or some father figure? Because what has she been taught? My dad talks about that as far as the courting process. You got to take everybody, the whole relationship in court. The person you're potentially getting a relationship with, their family, and every aspect, just to see if this is something I want to do, because I don't care what nobody says, that person's circle of influence has a direct impact on your relationship. Yes. What are their ideologies? How do they feel about this? What do they do in that situation? I mean, all those things come into play, and I think a lot of times, I'm just speaking from experience, in the past, I have been one that's been guilty of rushing to and getting a relationship instead of saying, well, that looks good. You sound like you're making a lot of sense, brother. But instead of saying, okay, well, let me, as my dad said, take it to court. Let me put all the evidence on the table, and see if this is something, if it adds up, if it makes sense. So we don't do that. We rush to judgment, and then it ends up, as Erica Badu said once before, being the same person that you were in a relationship with before. You end up with that same person because it's not them, it's you.
Right. Now, nothing against my father-in-law. However, while he went and stole a military man's woman behind the man over there serving the country, he gonna steal the man's woman.
He should have had his black ass over there protecting his woman instead of protecting something that wasn't protecting him.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna have to spend everything.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I'm not stick up for my daddy. If he didn't do that, I wouldn't be here.
That's true. That's true. My Thunderlock wouldn't be here.
That's right. My daddy's a G. He saw what he wanted. He took it. Yeah, so
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but and to the other point, Cindy, I mean, and then Cindy says I might have to hit your dad up, hit your dad up, Donovan and Al. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that man is knowledge.
Yeah, but I mean that's true. It should be true for men.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and when they're looking for a woman, okay, what? Because you know, my brother always jokes about this, and he's a fool. My brother, my oldest brother, he says, you know, you see the woman, and you see her mama, that's what she gonna look like.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm like. Now, while that's
my mom told me that
kind of stupid, you know, as far as how she's gonna look, but I think it goes deeper than that. What has her mom taught her? What are the things that she's learned from her mama? Is her mama an upstanding woman? Has her mom taught her values and morals and everyday things about life? Like I am shook to the core because I was raised by old-fashioned women, both my grandmothers and my mom. At some of these young girls that don't even know the basics.
Nope.
When I say the basics, I'm talking about keeping a clean house, keeping a clean
coochie. I'm serious. Some of them don't even know how to do that. I mean, I know that's hard to say, but it's true. We talk about it all the time. They keep a clean coochie. They just had a baby, and a month later they're with somebody else. I just don't get it. I don't get it. What happened to baby daddy? You guys are just together. Now she's on to another relationship. You're like, wait a minute. What happened here?
I was going kind of that way, but I was gonna say clean body. Like, whoa, you went just, you went for the.
Sometimes you gotta go straight. Just tell us to go straight. Keep it plain. Some of them, but it's true. Some of them can't even do that.
Right.
And when I mean clean coochie, I don't mean like, you know, like I said, relationship wise. They're going from relationship to relationship.
I was going the other way with it in that. You know, some of these guys, this dude here, we need a censor button for you, okay? But I get mystified at the fact that a lot of these young girls don't know the basics. To Donovan's point, I'm cleaning up, like wash up every day, clean your body, have clean clothes, have a clean environment. Because I wonder, and this is the other part too. Like, what man in his right mind is going to lay up with a woman who won't even keep her personal environment clean and an environment that she's going to invite him to? Like,
a young man who was raised by a mother that acts like that.
Yeah, because I mean, I can't think of too many men that would. But I guess, you know, that's becoming normal, that's acceptable. And then Cindy said, and then Donovan went right. Yeah, I was going a whole different direction.
I'm sorry. That's what makes our show so good. She's left out right, whatever.
Well, one in response to Donovan's comment. It is what it is. Nah, I don't even know what you're saying.
Message that one. Yeah, message that one.
Yeah, you said message that one to him. But no, it's so our problem. To Cindy's other point, I mean, men got to step up, but we got to teach them how to step up. You guys remember? Maybe you don't remember, but some of us, when it used to take a village to raise a child.
Amen.
But now we have gotten so far away from that. We don't want anybody to talk to our kids, to say nothing to our kids. You know, but
the kids can be totally wrong, and we already jumping on the teacher. Why would you go against the teacher that is teaching your kids, saying this is what happened in the class, but you go take your child's work?
Because you're too stupid to realize that this person is shaping or even has your child's future in their very hand, and that maybe they're trying to get your child to be a better person in society, but yet you don't understand once and if they graduate, you're going to aid and abet that person being a derelict in society because they were above reproach.
Right.
You were very vocal in not saying nothing to my child. And then Nancy says, "Oh my God, Donovan must know my eight baby daddies, 9 months pregnant, came to my house with a new baby boyfriend. Oh my God."
Oh yeah, but see what I'm talking about? They know what I'm talking about. We're making it plain because everybody knows there's a.
It just, you know what? It's all about teaching. It's teaching. Like my daughter will be 26.
Fine too. Fine little thing.
She fine, but she got her mind is, you know, she has her issues.
Yeah, of course.
She's evolving. But one thing I would say about that kid is that there's a lot of things she ain't gonna do. She ain't gonna be put up with a whole lot of nonsense. But
you know that.
even still, she's 26. I don't stop mentoring her or trying to teach her the things that I know and the things that I'm learning. It's until I die, I'm gonna always be teaching her what she should know as a woman and just in society. But we don't do that anymore. We are the society that puts our children in front of phones and computers all day.
Or we want our kids to be our friends.
Right. And like you guys probably didn't see me on social media last week, I'm taking a break Monday through Friday, get back on Saturdays. I'm on social media because I've grown tired of being inculcated by everyone else's ideology and dogma and just you know, just a lot of things that I wanted to, and I not wanted to, but I'm getting back to life, like to real life. Not saying that social media is not real life, but we know a lot of people get on there and fake the funk, but just really getting out there and making some moves. So that's what I've been working on, is making some moves in real life in order to help Black people. That's what I mean, social media is cool, we can do that, but we actually need to now start getting our boots to the ground. And so I brought that point up to say that oftentimes when we're on social media, like as for adults get caught up in the nonsense. So I couldn't imagine a child being on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and all that, and seeing all the stuff and not walking away being scarred to some degree. I mean, you got grown women who are aspiring to be like your favorite girl is Blac Chyna.
Sad.
They're aspiring to be Blac Chyna. Well, hell, Blac Chyna ain't even Blac Chyna.
Right.
You know? But so how do we expect a young child to say, you know, Blac Chyna's plastic? Blac Chyna's not real. How do we expect for her to do that? And then more than likely, her mama is walking around, you know, perpetrating somebody she's not.
Nothing worse than an old hoe. Ain't nothing worse than that. Ain't nothing worse than an old hoe. I'm serious. I mean, you know, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Is that what it is?
And walk away. I mean, because, you know, everybody has their time. Grow old gracefully. I mean, I'm not saying she's old though, because she's younger than us.
Right.
However.
Well, she's got, what, 2 kids?
Yeah, 2 kids or something like that. It's like, you know, I mean,
imagine seeing your mama's hoo-ha up on the internet when you're old enough to see that.
Right, you know.
I couldn't imagine.
It's sad.
And the thing says, well, I'm going to be in Donovan's inbox.
There you go. There you go.
And Al says, I'm sorry, Donovan. And social media, no Al Jack joke of the day. Blame Demetri. He's mad. Me too. I'm sorry, baby. You know, it's just, I love you though. And Al says, no Ask the ND segment. Blame Demetri. Hashtag. It's a hashtag. Blame Demetri. He is mad with me. And Cindy said, someone told me that we should always have a spiritual mentor. That's why I appreciate all of you always developing. No, absolutely. You know what, Cindy, we appreciate you too.
Yeah.
We appreciate you bringing in legal knowledge to the table because we don't know.
Everything.
But that's what it's about. It's about
exchanging ideas.
Yes.
Exchanging
bouncing information off of each other. Can you imagine if we got on here every Sunday? Well, no, I don't think that's right. It's, you know, it's what we say. We got all the answers, and we never, you know, it's just. That's what it's about. It's about sharing the knowledge and using it.
And learning it. Yeah, learning it.
Right. And then next says, woman, treat your body, Neiman Marcus, not the 99-cent store. You are everywhere. No, absolutely. I love that analogy.
Yes.
Yes, have some quality, some class. And I think, honestly, I don't know no statistics behind it, but that is a lost art. Like, I'm telling you guys, I'm more up a generation that I get shocked at, you know, like, some girls, and I call them girls because they're young, when you don't know you're supposed to clean up your kitchen after you cook. Or while you're cooking.
Or while you're cooking, right.
I don't understand that. Like, you just leave dishes in the sink until you get ready to go wash them 2 or 3 days later.
Or, you know, you make a good meal, and then you see all the pots and pans down there, and you rather let them sit there until the morning.
I'm soaking them. stop burning them, first of all.
Yeah. Right.
And then Cindy says, I don't argue with anyone on Facebook. If someone told me 1 plus 1 equals 9, you are right. Keep it moving.
Exactly.
Because you know, at this point, there is no need for us to do that. Once, as we just said, we get the knowledge, let's go use it. Let's go figure out how to actually, you know, make each other better. Even if it's just having a small conversation, which is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start using my communication skills, my public relations skills, and actually start getting out there in the community and just start having conversations with our people.
It's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be hot out there.
I'm just gonna, you know, strike up a small conversation, a couple of minutes long, and just ask them stuff like, you know, and I wanted to kind of coin it, Black people, did you know? And I can say something like, Black people, did you know that we make $1.3 trillion within the Black community, but we only keep 3% of that, giving most of that away to everybody else? Did you know that our Black dollars circulate in our community roughly about 6 hours and then it's gone? And that'll spark a conversation. Now, some people might say, get out of my face, but that's fine. I'm still not gonna stop trying. I want to, you know, actually get out there and talk to people.
Well, isn't that the premise of this show? Get you out of your bedroom and we
now I need to get out of I'm still gonna be here, but you know, actually get out there and start reaching and teaching and talking to people, because some people just don't know. Al put up a post about the 4th of July and Juneteenth, and a lot of people on his post didn't know that. And he's in Texas. What, 2 hours from Galveston?
Right.
The last state or area that got the word that slavery was free, which is why it's called Juneteenth, because they got the word on June 19th, 1865. Like, how do you guys live out there and don't know that?
Ignorance is bliss.
We got to get out there. And so Alex said, I'm schizophrenic, and so am I. And then Cindy says, remember to hydrate. No, absolutely.
Yes, it's gonna be hot out there.
I'm gonna be out there, you know, drinking and talking.
Well, you know, and I'm glad that you're doing that, because that was the whole premise of starting your thing. Because now that you're on YouTube, I mean, there have been some videos that I've seen of yours. You've got like 4,000 people, 5,000. I mean, that's a lot.
40,000 one of them.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, and that's a lot of area and a lot of people.
Do you ever watch the analytics on there? It says that there's different. I didn't notice that until one day I said, oh, all these shares and the videos, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's a big impact, significant impact. I do another show with a guy called Pastor Don. This guy on his Facebook page has 1,900 dedicated viewers on his page now. Now, when he started, it was 0. Wow. And you know Pastor Don, he is ecstatic about the numbers. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not just you. I mean, you know, Sydney, all your, like I said, you have a highly educated audience, and that's what this whole thing's about. Sharing ideas, getting those ideas out. Even if you don't believe, like, I know I'm over here and I clown a lot and stuff like that. However, the meaning of what we're trying to do is.
No, but one thing I would say about you, I'm going to read this comment real quick. Sure. Charles says, that is good, getting out, conversating, and sharing information and taking the pulse of our people and the nation. Absolutely, that's what we got to do. But I was going to say this about you. Yeah, you joke a lot, but you are a man of your word. You're a man of action. I've seen Donovan out there talking to people, and I know that right, he kind of holds back a little bit, But I know that he does get out there, and you know, if he sees a young man, Black man, you know, sagging or doing something like that, he does take the opportunity to say something. You know, and then try to have a conversation opposed to just that Negro over there.
Put your hands up.
Yeah, you know, just trying to have, you know, it doesn't have to be a long conversation. It could be 2-3 minutes. Right. Impart wisdom on people, because a lot of people just don't know. They don't know that when they walk into a liquor store, or let's say a hair shop or whatever.
You're trying to get a job, an interview.
Yeah, you know, but you don't know that those dollars that you're giving those people, they'll never give them back. Or you're getting some weed or whatever it is, and alcohol, but you're not getting anything else. Your community, your people are suffering because you don't know that you're giving your money away, especially the people who aren't going to give it back.
That don't live in the community.
Right, and Al says, when Apollo Creed fought Drago, I'm going to be like Tony told Rocky with my joke on the show, throw the damn towel.
Yeah, throw the damn towel! Throw the damn towel!
Listen, I ain't got a problem with jokes. I just got a problem with some of them, especially when we ain't joking.
I'm not in that.
Back me up, Jay. I need you to back me up.
I'm gonna be like you did to me. I'm gonna go straight to the bathroom. I'm going straight to the bathroom.
Now you ain't gonna. I need you to back me up.
I can't back you up on that.
Donovan's shaking his head like I ain't gonna back you up, but he's saying he is. So I ain't scared. But no, anyway. How much time we got?
You got 10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes, so anything else you guys want to talk about, we can chop it up. I think somebody wants to talk about Maxine Waters.
Yes.
And her calling for a bounty per se.
Let's talk about mophead Maxine Waters.
I was going to say something about her wig. Her call for a bounty on Trump's administration, basically, in light of Sarah Sanderson and a couple of his other people getting stopped or ran out of Sarah Sanders. Getting ran out of establishments and stuff because they are aligned with Trump's family separation policy. And she's saying, so when you see them out in public, harass them. Do whatever you need to do to get their attention and let them know that they need to separate from Trump.
And she wants you to also know this: if you're gonna take a shot at her, you better shoot straight.
You better shoot straight. You better not miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Maxine's a gangster.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? The black foolishness. And I'm gonna show you how dumb the Democratic Party is. See, Republicans, they won't say nothing. If somebody's acting a fool like Trump, they don't say nothing to it. Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. These are the same party people. Wake up. They don't give a damn about black people. They don't give a damn about Hispanics. They just don't. They want your votes. They want your money, and that's about it.
True. And Nancy says, I hope to see you at the Fox. Let's book your town hall meeting. You know what? You sound just like my mom. Because my mom used to say stuff like that. When are you going to get out there and start speaking? You need to say, I can see you speaking in front of. So I receive it. We're working toward it. I promise you. I actually did make a call on the building in order to invite people out to speak.
It is time for you to come out from behind the mic, the curtain, wherever, the shadows, and start
getting pelted by tomatoes.
Yes. Come to the club, Come to the club.
And Cindy says another example of how we don't protect the black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about Maxine Waters.
Yeah. Well, is that a woman? Is she? I thought she was.
Donovan is not a fan of Maxine Waters.
I mean, the women's district it's worse. Well, it's been worse than Moreno Valley, but it hasn't progressed. It's going backwards. And she's got the nerve to sit up there
you know what though?
And take a check from the people.
This is what I said though. I said this last week. We're witnessing the Communist Manifesto unfold. I know it's an oxymoron kind of, but we're watching it unfold, and that the poor people, the underclass, if you would say,
there's more of us than there are of them.
Right, and we're starting, and I say we're starting to wake up. And so I think, Maxine's thing is just a call to action, like, yo, how much longer are we going to put up with this? Like, when is it going to be enough?
Right, and she's the first one we're going to start with. She's going to be the first one we're going to start with.
Well, maybe she's going to share the bread.
Because it doesn't make any sense to me. You're making over $100,000, and your district is horrible.
Well, yeah. I mean, I agree. It should not be a double standard.
And she's been there for 30 years.
Right. What you say to other people should also be applicable to you.
So when the revolution happens, we're starting with her.
We're knocking on her door first?
Her door first.
Okay. And then Sydney says, your mom and I used to talk about you doing a town hall meeting. I will make it happen. And then Sydney says, take several seats, Don. You don't like to talk about Maxine, okay?
Hey, like I said, the proof is in the pudding. If you're a good legislator, and I'm all, I'm for term limits, but if you're a good legislator as you are, your district's going to reflect that. Her district does not reflect that she is a good leader.
So do you have a problem with Maxine calling for to take Trump people's
because that's not the way to do it.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Now, I'm on the fence with it.
Okay,
I'm on the fence.
Harassing isn't going to change anything.
But what was different? Trump did the same thing. Did Trump not do the same thing? And that when he was campaigning, he was telling people punch him in the face.
Okay.
All that, and they actually did do that kind of stuff.
Okay, and you got ignorant people, and he was a candidate at the time. This is an elected official. Okay, which makes it, you have to have some responsibility, because how can you tell people not to break the law if you're breaking it?
Well, she's not telling people
to break the law. But what I'm saying is, when you're an elected official,
law.
you have to lead by example. You're a leader. Lead by example.
Well, maybe
And
because this is what the people want to hear now.
No, she should be saying, she should be going to her district and all these other districts and helping out saying, we need to vote, we need to get these people registered, that's what she should be doing.
Hey, I'm just
because
reporting
punching people in the face
well,
and harassing, but
yeah.
harassing them,
yeah.
that isn't going to change the situation on a political level. It's not.
It might.
No, it won't.
We'll see.
It won't, because what it is it's going to make us look like them look like victims.
Okay. Al says, I'd say something about Maxine Waters, but I probably just drowned. Oh, hell, I finally got you to read a comment of mine.
No, but, like you said, the bourgeoisie, it's going to happen. You're right. The Communist Manifesto
it's coming down the wire.
People are awake.
Absolutely.
And
Charles said, I saw that crap on MSNBC earlier. Joy Reid, a black female, a Latino female, and a black male having unlimited time to talk about Trump hate and be the corporate Democrat horse for the Democratic Party.
Thank you. Thank you.
Democrat, I'm trying to see one. Democratic Party. F them. The people want jobs and universal health care. No, absolutely.
Right. That's what they should be concentrating on.
Right. No, I mean, I agree with that. But at some point in time, it's like we got to figure out how to stop becoming the underdog. I mean, like you said, a lot of people are touting jobs or employment rate going up, but is a part-time job really considered?
No.
Like, you can't have just no part-time job out here and survive well. You need to be having a bunch of
gigs. 3 part-time jobs doesn't mean that the economy's doing well. Sorry.
And the city says, forget politics, we allowed them to stay that, we allowed them to say that they were going to lynch her. Is that what they said? Wow, they said that. Yeah, that's not cool, but I'm not shocked that they said that. We know that Trump has a lot of lunatics. What we got?
Lunatics, you got 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay, so we know that Trump got a lot of lunatics on his team.
Yep.
We know that.
Racist. I mean, these are bigots.
And they are proud to be that. We see that every day. And for you guys on the podcast, thank you for joining us. We will see you guys next week. But we see it every day. I mean, look at all the people that are I should say white women that are calling the police on. We got children.
Herbert Patty. We got
barbecue Becky. We saw one before we came on here. Some white lady called the police on a black woman or man for smoking in public. Do these people not realize, like, police, they got other things to do? I think they come and tell, oh, you're smoking in public.
Right.
Or
this guy taking a picture of photography.
I just like, but we know what that is. Somebody said it best, I can't remember who it was, that the police are customer service. The white people are using police as customer service. Hey, I got an issue with this Negro over here. They won't listen to me.
Right. They're
drinking water or selling water without a permit. I need you to get over here right away.
8-year-old girl. Menace. Before we go away, I want to welcome somebody to the 40 Club. That's our
Tay. Yes, Tay had a birthday.
Yes, I heard she got crunk.
Well, is there any other? I said like I'll be out there getting crunk on my birthday. I'll be in bed at 6:30. We'll do it again next year. We'll do it right next time.
Next time.
All right, Al, we'll give you one. Al says suicide is a white man's way of telling God you can't fire me. Just wow. Yeah. So anyway, I don't have anything else unless you guys do. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because the sister is famished.
Yes.
Starving. And so, hey Aaron, what's happening? We are getting ready to bounce out of here. So I will see you guys next week. I won't be on Facebook. I'm purging myself. Thank you. I'm purging myself of all the social media so I can be more productive in real life. Al says, Demetria called the cops on me for telling jokes on the show.
Yeah, she did. Quickly in the news, Al Jackson posted, Papa Joe Jackson, the first parent to beat the black off his kid. And there's a picture of Joe Jackson and Michael Jackson together. For those who don't know, the matriarch of the Jackson family, Joe Jackson.
R.I.P. to Joe Jackson. People will make jokes, and that's funny. People will make jokes, but Joe Jackson was undisputed as being one of the greatest fathers
Yes.
alive. Not just because he produced, great children that went on to do great things, and Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson 5, and Eva Reed with Centipede. But I mean, again, and I hate that we're leaving with this, but that to me, all of the backlash that Joe Jackson got is just another attack on black male fatherhood. I mean,
he beat those kids the way a black father's supposed to beat them damn kids.
Well, I mean, he wanted them to have more than
That's right. That's right.
discipline. I mean, was it austere sometimes? Yeah, I'm sure. But I got an ass whooping that I didn't believe it.
And you also got to remember that at the era that they were in, that was called discipline.
Right, but that's just another way to demonize a black man. Oh, you're a horrible person, but you're getting your boogie on to their music though.
Right.
How bad was he if you're still playing all the Michael Jackson stuff and Janis, their concerts are sold out. So I mean, like I said, my hat's off to Joe Jackson. Was he perfect? No, but did he do what a lot of fathers should? Imagine if we had fathers like him today.
You're sitting right next to him.
Oh, Joe Jackson Jr.?
Yes.
But imagine if we had fathers like him today, and what these children would be like.
These young men.
Yes, they would be men. And they would be more productive if we had men who actually took the time to mentor and raise their children. We would, like, the black race would be, not saying we ain't dope, but we would be much more. So, that's all I got about Joe Jackson. And then Aaron says, D, this is your show. Yes, this is my show, and this is my partner, Donovan. I would pan over here. Donovan, you can see his shadow.
I'm right here.
That's Donovan. You guys will see him on the YouTube version of this, because I'm using my phone, so it only has my big body in the in the screen. And so, you guys will see that, and Alice said, Donovan, you can't take over my jokes that was since I was censored. You weren't censored, just, redirected, if you will. But anyway, I will see you guys next week. Please have a safe rest of the week. If you're going to have some barbecue, and realize, why are you having a barbecue? And then Aaron says, get me on an interview with you. Okay, you know what? Inbox me, and then we'll talk about it, and we'll see if we can set something up for next week. All right? Until then, I will see you guys later on. Peace.
2 and 2.